Our topic is basically, is Porsche killing the golden goose? So the golden goose there refers to the golden goose in Aesop's fable. So it's pretty short fable, so I can read it to you guys so you guys can understand it a bit more. So one day a farmer was going to the next of his goose, found there an egg all yellow and glittering. He took it and found that the egg was pure gold. The farmer could hardly believe his luck. Every morning, the same thing occurred, and the farmer grew richer day by day. Thinking he could get all the gold at once, he killed the goose. After he opened it, he found nothing. So we'll have to dig into that more later. But to give you a brief background into Porsche itself, um, basically Porsche it's a sports car manufacturer that started, I think, in the 1940s. So their flagship model until today is the 911, which is quintessentially a sports car. But um, though it wasn't the first car they introduced, ever since its introduction, it was always its flagship, and till today, the 911 still produced. So um, the only difference now is that in 2002, Porsche introduced their SUV lineup. So that started with the Porsche Cayenne, and then further on they introduced the Porsche Macan, and um, nowadays that those two models outsell the 911, which is and is supposed basic which is their flagship. So um I think that's why the question is asked, is Porsche killing its golden goose? Because with the introduction of the Porsche Cayenne and the Macan, it is those two models take a larger share of Porsche sales every year compared to the 911, which is their flagship model. So I think the question there, it talks about like, is Porsche damaging or changing its brand in any way from a sports car manufacturer now that their most sellable model isn't a sports car? So um with that question being asked, uh I think that's what they mean by, is Porsche killing its golden goose?
Orion.
Okay, so um since the tasking for the tasking, the chapter 1 and 2 will be done by Clyde, Shane, and Mary Chris. Faith and I will be helping also with chapters 1 and 2, so we're just flexible with regards to the topic we will be working on, or the portion. So far, just to give you an update, I did some research for the introduction to answer the to give information about the profile of the company. So what's asked is the brief history, nature of the business, the current revenue size and profit, major markets served, and the number of employees, as well as other relevant basic information. So I did some research for numbers 1 to 5. I'll be reading some of the information I was able to gather. So I'll be starting with the brief history. So Porsche's history dates back to 1948. It was founded by Ferdinand Porsche, who created the Porsche brand with just 200 workers. The first model was introduced later that year, and a few years later, in 1952 specifically, they were able to create their most popular model, which is the 550 Spiders. So next is the nature of the business. Porsche is a German automobile manufacturer specializing in high performance sports cars, SUVs, and sedans, and they are headquartered in Germany. The company is owned by Volkswagen AG, and it is owned by Porsche Automobile Holding SE. For their current revenue size and profit, it states here that they were able to have a strong increase in the first half of the year. Porsche AG significantly increased its sales revenue and operating profit in the first 6 months of 2022 to 17.92 billion euros and 3.48 billion euros, respectively. Their return on sales in the first half of 2022 rose to 19.4% from 16.9% in the previous year period. Next, I'll be talking about the major markets that they serve. Porsche is able to have a presence in major automobile markets of the world like the United States, Europe, and Asia. For their demographics, the demographic of the Porsche owner includes a college graduate, household income over $100,000, 85% male and 15% female. The typical Porsche owner is 40 years old, and Porsche is trying to target 25 to 54 for their age demographic. And lastly, for their number of employees, they have around 36,996. So that would be all. I will be sharing also the Google Docs link for this one so that we could improve on it.
Thank you, Marian, for that. So just like what she mentioned, we'll be doing chapters 1 and 2 for this week, right, for asynchronous. So chapter 1 would be the introduction, right? So Clyde will be assigned for that. So I already sent the screenshot of the tasks and all what each chapter entails. So chapter 2 is for Mary Chris and Shane. So do you have any updates on that?
So for my part, I looked into the mission, vision, and like their the culture at Porsche, and also like who they are as a company. And what I found was that they really claim that their company is unique. They say that their vehicle should always be something special, and I think that's also something that we can all agree on. They also claim that their employees are really proud to work at Porsche because they're driven by passion from their extraordinary products, and that kind of motivates them to seek to improve and to regularly examine and optimize structures. So they also claim that they support their employees' freedom to think in different kinds of ways because they do value independence and individuality in their company, which I believe is very vital, especially for a very big company like theirs, corporation. So for their mission, it's in the words of Ferry Porsche. In the beginning, I looked around but couldn't find the car I dreamt of, so I decided to build it myself. And it relates very much to their vision, which is the brand for those who follow their dreams. And I think that's exactly what Ferry Porsche did when he said that he decided to build his own car, his own dream car himself. And then now we look at the culture at Porsche. They did explain that, embedded with their mission, vision, strategy, and brand statement, the corporate culture statement complements their corporate vision statement. So while their strategy explains what they do as a corporation, their corporate culture statement reflects who they are. And so they actually have about 4 core concepts that makes it easy to visualize who they are as a company. Wait, so I'm gonna play it na lang. Explode. Okay, so that means or stands for the passion and enthusiasm that fuels their combined efforts to find the best solutions every single day. So their second core concept would be this one. Pioneer, guys. And that stands for how they started as a small company with a workshop mentality that delighted the world with its sports cars. The third core value is this one. Sportlichkeit. And it stands for their mindset. Because according to them, they really love challenges. They act rapidly and are unfailingly respectful and fair in doing so. And lastly, it's one family, which stands for their team, which keeps its down-to-earth approach even when enjoying the greatest success. So that's all for my part.
Thank you, Shane.
So based on their vision mission, Porsche markets to the elite and upscale target audience by effectively using market segmentation, market targeting, positioning, and they continue to build on its strong brand focused on products that are exclusively in the premium or luxury automotive segment. And then for their products, the company is best known for its powerful, precise handling sports cars, most famously the iconic 911. And then for the market, Porsche varies the product mix offered by dealerships within each region. And as an example, the dealers in the warmer south and southwest regions, they offer a higher percentage of example convertibles in the product mix versus the north and northwest regions in the United States, with marketing following suit. And then as of, I think, last year or 2020, 2020, the company has developed a new technology that creates a virtual replica of the original car and using different algorithms, and it can detect and predict when a car needs servicing. And the technology is called digital twin. That's all for mine.
Thank you, Marcus. And just to add to everyone's input, I think that it's so important to revisit Porsche's vision, mission, the products that they offer, their services, and how they came about, how they started their roots. Because with our case study, just like what Clyde mentioned, are they killing the golden goose? Are they killing what they stand for, which is the 911 sports car? And yeah, so we'll be sending our Google Docs in our group chat. So I think that would be two separate Google Docs, one for the introduction and second one for Shane and Marcus's chapter, which is chapter 2. So based on the outline, the drafting for these two chapters would be September 7 and September 12, which is next Monday. So I think that's enough time to start drafting the two chapters. So on Monday, we would all be expected to have those two Google Docs ready. So yeah, does anyone want to add anything?
That should be all. But thanks for meeting us today, guys.
All right.
And
Yes.
yeah, we'll send everything. We should probably send all our drafts in before maybe a few days before, so we can go through everything.
Yeah, so let's help each other and not be afraid to ask for help. All right, bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right,
Bye,
thank you.
thank you.